For my money, it's the best time of the year, playoff football time, as postseason action descends upon FedEx Field just outside of D.C. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. For the chance to head to Arizona in 2 weeks' time for Super Bowl 57, we are underway now in the NFC Championship, taking it about the 1. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up 2nd down. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Prescott on the out route. It's Lamb with a grab. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Play fake. Here's Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense. Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game, watching them try to take away that area of the field.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Brissett. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field. Hey, kill.
On 3rd down, Brissett. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it
under a heavy rush. rushing down he goes. Micah Parsons coming in from that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down. They'll run with Gibson. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. One more time with Gibson. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people.
And this time he is in. Antonio Gibson taking it in from a yard out. And the Commanders have struck first in this NFC title game. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Throwing, Prescott. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I'm not sure it made a difference on that play, but one thing to keep in mind, here in the early part of the year during a day game, the sun does play a factor on deep balls.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch. And this is good for a first down, his 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Prescott looks to throw on first. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. in Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Looking to throw. Prescott. Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Prescott yet again. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 19. 23 yards the pickup there.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that.
That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. But he's been doing this for a lot of years, and the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it, try and keep the defense honest.
You mean also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Commanders have moved out in front. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Chase Young, he's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Sneak, it's Prescott. And he will have a Cowboys first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Play action now. Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up...
And it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there's never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful with this one.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Brissett now. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott, he'll fire this deep for Gallup, and this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one. Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I've played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one.
Now Prescott on fourth down. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Benjamin St. Just. And the Commanders will take over possession here up at the 44. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Throw right side, taken in by Gibson.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Brissett. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts
as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Brissett under pressure. They got him again. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. Taken at the goal line. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And I think here with the lead, CD, they have to resist that temptation of kind of looking ahead. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would agree, because
he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Washington. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot at the big game Their big playability. They can strike from anywhere.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 21-7. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Prescott over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Prescott. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Lamb. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Thomas brings it in. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And this is good for a 1st down, his 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Once more, Gibson. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Complete, it's Dodson. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line. 15 yards there on the catch and run. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. He'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Straight ahead, Gibson. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing, Brissett. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Sly able to put this one through, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
Now this will be a return from deep in the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And now here's another interception. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back early in the game when he threw a 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. 1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Gibson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They have more people to the football than snuffed out the play.
Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
This one fielded at the 5. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And their dream of a Super Bowl berth so close 3 quarters ago, but obviously starting to slip away if it hasn't already. They need points here and in a hurry. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Off the play fake, Prescott. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Deron Payne never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
Well, I wish the staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the 4th quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it were me.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Dorsett on the return. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And you can bet that they are starting to sense it now. That George Halas Trophy nearly theirs. Their spot as NFC champions oh so close as they try to finish this one off. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
63 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Gibson again. And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. 1st down. He continues to be a major factor carrying the football here into the 4th quarter, Charles.
Another big gain on the ground. Big guys working strong up front. A lot of them not just...
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, something about this team, you just felt like they were one of destiny all season long. And they made themselves today, as you can see, the class of the NFC.
Yeah, and it's starting to look more and more like a Super Bowl trip
is very much in their future.
And the fans starting to book those tickets. Slide for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's got room. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Cowboys. Well, you don't become a two-time rushing champion in this league without being able to shed some tackles, and Ezekiel Elliott does just that on this latest run. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A handoff running left is Gibson. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. To throw, Brissett. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. Here's Tressway now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. That's taken it around the 40. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Prescott on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Talk about two sides of the ball, cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats and maybe...
And it'll be intercepted. And the Commanders are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
Been NFC champs. They have punched their ticket to the biggest show in sports.
And what a way to get there, to go the entire season and then play for the right to go to the Super Bowl and the right to call themselves NFC champs. Elation has to abound.